Welcome back to some of the most professional StarCraft 2 from the upper bracket finals of the regionals in Europe for Dreamhack Atlanta. We have two players who could be in the finals of any region and any tournament. We've seen it before. I'm sure we'll see it again. But let me first introduce you to the multi-world champion, the finisher. It's Serral. On the other side, the Frenchman, the kid, probably the only Terran outside of Korea who has a chance against the machine on the other side of the map. A precision and a multitasking, almost impossible to follow. Even if I didn't have the observer cam, I give you Clem. I'm so excited to give you Clem. Okay, that was just is a controller. All right, it's fine. Jimmy, just pick it up. Okay. It's Clem versus Serral. Come on, guys. In the last few times they've met, well, Clem is the only Terran who can compete with these players. There really isn't anyone else outside of Korea. And by these players, I mean, we always lump Rainer in, like the eccentric kid brother of Serral. In many ways outshines him, but also in many ways still has to live up to him. As Serral his humor, his personality, and his gameplay are all patient. They're all kind of boring, unless you actually look closely at the details and try to figure out what he's actually trying to say or do. And then in that case, you are steps behind, and he's streets ahead. You can't really, the boring or exciting part, depending on who you are, is that you can't really pin it on anything. It's not like his Zergling micro is particularly good. It's not like his spell casting is an order of magnitude better than most. It's just every little bit of the game he seems to know what to do and when before his opponent has even made their move. The reason Clem, though, is able to come out ahead is even when Serral calculates, okay, I'm going to need 20 Zerglings and 6 Banelings. Whatever amount of Banelings you think you need to counter Clem's army, just double it, okay? Double it. 10 no. Single-digit number of Banelings is target practice for Clem. Especially once he starts mixing in things like Widowmines. I've never seen a player more consistent than Clem. Beyond has had his moments, but also those highs are also followed by many downs. Just ask his wrists. Clem has had zero wrist issues yet, but I'm really looking forward to his years of experience manifesting themselves. Why is it always Terrans? Terran is so hard, you break your mind and your body just to play. To quote Cure, the reason why he was able to beat both Dark and Solar in GSL is because I'm just saying what Cure, one of the best Terrans in Korea. It's because Zerg players are lazy and Terrans work hard. That is a direct, if translated, quote. So, do you agree? I don't know. Do you want to dispute that statement? Do you think that Terran players are right, but also they're such dicks you don't want to agree with them on anything because it makes you feel bad on the inside? Does it depend on the day? Well, maybe it'll depend on the outcome of this series. Make your predictions now. Yes, it's another Serral series. Oh my god, what? No, it's on purpose. He's doing it on purpose. As much as I like... Jimmy, what? Blue Flame Hellions. Looks like Clem gonna get Serral all hot and bothered to start. I had to take an extra moment. This is a straight up Wings of Liberty build. Those Blue Flame Hellions able... Oh, well, and Serral just gets in. He just gets in. He gets in with his... Of course he does. I don't understand. He butters up those Zerglings. They start dodging, ducking, dipping, and diving. Even though there are Hellions on the field, the Zergling gets into the main and scouts it, which That was a big mistake. There's no reason that Zergling should ever get it. He hid this perfectly. Serral immediately makes a Bane Nest. I'm surprised we don't see a Roachhorn or any Spine Crawlers. Then again, those units are not going to catch up with these fancy cars here. And Armory's on the way. Clem looks like he kind of aborted the whole Blue Flame attack. I imagine he wanted to run by. But instead now is just content with sitting on the edge of the creep, working towards maybe even Marauder Hellbat. Clem always... Terran players always kind of mix it up. But tournament to tournament, month to month. Zerg players go from deciding whether or not they're going to build 10 queens to 15 queens, and maybe they go back to 10. As well as which one game out of a 5-game series are they going to do a roach timing. And that's about the extent of Zerg build order creativity. But Terrans with multiple opportunities and multiple attempts. We've seen Maru doing it lately. Maru has stopped building Hellions lately. He's just gone reactor to, like, Marines. And then, okay, like, Widowmine dropping stuff. Which, I'm still not sold on it. Then again, he did 4-0 Ragnarok, so... Zergling counterattack looking dicey, but right now, the mineral line... Oh, Serral, the drones! Get up! Oh, wait. Oh, no. No. Serral actually blocked it. He was panicking because he thought he didn't block, but his Spore Crawler had blocked it. Meanwhile, his, 8 Zerglings have killed 6 SCVs. Well, there they go, but he got 4 Hellions. I'm not sure if the Hellion Hellbat... Did he really kill 4 Hellions and 4 Hellbats? They're not going to count it. Well, we'll keep a count on that. It feels weird that he killed all that, but... Oh, wow. That was the most comfortable defense of Blue Flame Hellions I've seen in years. Partially because I haven't really seen Blue Flame Hellions in years at this timing. But also, he just said, if he can't touch me, he can't kill me, which is technically correct and practically... Well, but that is kind of what I meant when I said Serral has already countered your play before you make it. Like, the Hellions couldn't even get in. He even surprised himself with the Spore Crawler placement. Like, he's like, oh, I guess it's a block. It's fine. Well, here comes Clem, though. He hasn't been slouching. Despite all this, he still has got a huge economy with that 3cc. He's got Widow Mines. Oh, okay. I like how... Are we counting the Zerglings that got... I don't know, something's weird going on there. Maybe the Zerglings that got killed by the mine? This ain't good. Yeah, this is not working. Also, some Banelings rolled into the base, as you can tell by the Christmas-colored SCVs here. And that's just the survivors. So, Clem getting shut down towards the north. Oh, finally a little opportunity. Serral with a counterattack. Blue Flame Hellions will scout it and also die. Mines everywhere right now. The M&M. Mine. Marine Medevac. Widow Mine. Just in time. And now he's flying to the main, and Serral is crying. Stop. None of that was good. None of that was creative. And all of it made me cringe harder than watching these Marines sit behind the spawning pool and kill all those Zerglings. 4 drones down. Wow, before 1-1 finished. Okay. Wow, the upgrades. What stands out is how late the upgrades are for Clem. He was so focused on production that his units are not going to be as effective in a heads-up fight, but the idea is the Marines never have to take a fair fight. Even targets a Baneling down there. Enough Marines to go in 1 medevac. He hasn't even started 2-2, while Serral is boxing this out about as well as you can. It's not going great, but not great, not terrible. It's Clem, so you're not going to really kill the medevacs. You just have to take the punches until hopefully you can punch back with decisive and deadly force. And that seems to be Serral's strategy here. The Widow Mines will burrow. Drilling Claws is already done, so they are going to get into the ground. The question is what they do then. A handful of Zerglings trying to trigger the mines. Clem loses another one. The drops, the queens. What? Down goes one medevac. Serral knocks it down. Holding on to the base. And actually, Clem had a supply lead, but that's starting to evaporate. He has not started 2-2. Serral's getting his hive. So, good luck, my French friend. Many Zerg players would be crumbling right now. Widow Mines, multiple medevacs, and for a time it was even upgrades on these fronts, but it's not many Zerg players. Serral shuts it down, forces him to pick up more Marines, keeps the creep intact. Clem has done a pretty good job of pushing back the creep, but Serral just as good at pushing it right back out. Splitting some Zerglings. Widow Mines not finding the connections. Easily mitigated and destroyed. Lurker Den is on the way. A little late compared to the hive, but Serral's still at 80 drones. Then you gotta be, if you don't have overwhelming forces, you keep on that creep. Otherwise, it's target practice time for Clem. Pathogen glands for Serral, for the infestors. Try to do something to lock down these medevacs. Oh my. Another drop. Clem looking the other way. The Baneling's not able to close the distance and barely gets away with some bruised medevacs. Clem all over the place. I feel necessary to remind people at this point, StarCraft is played by a single player, not 4 or 5 different players. Imagine how boring it would be to watch 4 or 5 players controlling, I don't know, maybe even less units. 500 APM for Serral, 400 for Clem. Of course, much of that goes into making Lings and Banes. Just the mechanical speed and precision required from both sides, but especially Zerg, is quite... Oh my. The mine's taking out big chunks. The drone's on the run. You can already tell Serral can't defend this base. The mines took out... They blunted the attack. And Clem able to find a weak spot. Serral committed too many forces to the southern side of the map, and that means Clem was able to take a victory to the north. Serral is down to 4 bases right now against a 5-base Terran. The Lurkers are really needed to have any sort of staying power. Another mine, another connection. So far, in the last 40 seconds or so, Clem is starting to rack up the efficiency. In fact, throughout the game, but he's always got... Oh, the drilling claws. Baneling's able to connect. Those are changelings. This medevac just chilling. Multiple sensor towers keeping things, giving Clem that extra moment or two to react. And that's all he needs. Nidus in the back of the base. I think there are lurkers on the field and probably in the Nidus. What a play. What a reveal here. And Clem is maxed out, so he doesn't have units coming out of the racks. Which means, doesn't even see, he's reacting, it's too late. The lurkers will come out. Alright, well, a Widowmine hit helps. Another Nidus on the way, but this is quite a set of thorns in his side. Oh, a ghost is on the field here. And this drags a lot back. Okay, more. Things are escalating. Widowmine deals with it, but an opportunity to dive in towards the fourth. A whole lot of Lings and Banes. The Ghost leading the charge. I mean, there's nothing really to snipe here. Clem beaten back to the natural. The night is dealt with, but the defenses have fallen. The command center's in the air right now. 6 SCVs go down, and despite what looked to be a weak position, Clem cleans it up. Overall, Serral ends up losing a few hundred more gas and a few hundred less minerals, actually, in that last fight, which, well, I would say the tie goes to the leader economically, but there is no leader. Okay. There is an infestor. Just waiting for its opportunity. Does he have Neural Parasite? Because the best counter to EMP is using EMP. Borrowing some of those Terran spellcasters is usually the most cost-effective option for Zerg. Serral is the only player I've seen pull that off with any consistency as well. He just... And there's always the dilemma of, like, do you continue to creep? Because if you creep too far, they're gonna scan. Of course, Clem is making that not a hard question for him as he continues to push it back. The Infestor, looking for an opportunity. Of course, Fungal, also a great option. If you can land those Banelings. The scans forward. Is it time to EMP the Ghost, Serral? Just the go... Serral, he pops him up! Fungal, Banelings, oh no! Oh, the reverse card, the Widowmine lands. It's all of Serral's Banelings. Oh no, 25 Banelings in the last, in pretty much just that fight. A disaster for the finisher. And now Clem, he took a lot of damage on his medevacs, but that was a lot of gas, and the Infestors are revealed. That was the first reveal. The mines are hiding everywhere. They just keep putting things together. How do they do it? Nanites, okay? Nanites. Don't question it. Not like Serral's out of it by any means. He's still maxed out. 85 rounds. EMP. Meanwhile, I dropped to the north. Serral's scrambling. He hasn't even tried Lurkers since the Nidus. He tried that move. It didn't work out. The Lurkers are put on the back shelf right now. The Widowmine's going to connect on the Medivacs and Lings and Banes alike. Oh, not again. Another Widowmine hit onto the Banelings. 14 drones going down, and Clem, he may have bent a bit. He gave Serral some position. He gave him just enough rope, it seems. And the Widowmines are handling the rest as... Oh, Serral managed to save the base, but at what cost? Another army. Oh, Parasitic Bomb splits away. He might lose the Medivacs, but minimize damage, and that's a lot of energy on the Vipers. These are still intact. Unburrowing a Spore. Serral scrambling. Clem actually bringing the average APMs close to the best Zerg player. 400 and nearly 20 APM as a Terran. And at this stage, when you're maxed out and not even produce, like, that's an insane number. Maru and Clem are the only players who I've ever seen over 400 as Terran. It's just kind of because Zerg has to build all the, like, the selecting larva, building circling, it has a naturally high built-in number. But Clem is just everywhere. The Ghost, he doesn't have Cloak, but they're not bad fighting units either. Another mine. Another one taken out. Still one waiting. Serral is not giving this up, though. We're on Data C. There's still way more map to mine. The incomes just keep getting closer. More Widow Mines. Cloaks. Ghosts at half HP. Enough Medivacs to keep it intact. There are Vipers sniping off the Overseers. More Banelings rolling in. Ghosts on the other side, sniping off the Overseers. Deja vu, I've just been to this base before. Banelings rolling in, but the Ghosts won't fucking die. Down goes the Planetary. Ghosts on the left, Ghosts on the right. A Nidus to the corner. I'm not even sure what that's for. The Ghost count is now at 13. There's only one Marauder and 14 Marines. One of the most smooth Ghost transit. There's no detection. More Ghosts. I'm not in... It's an escape Nidus. Get out, run! Escape to where, though? Who does that? Ricky! Ricky, the accidental swarm host? Oh no, Serral. The Widow Mines are just too much. SCV's transferring all over the place. Like, Serral is not finding... He's not killing any key parts of Clem's economy. As things... Hey, Ricky. It's alright. It's not that we don't love you. It's just we don't want you near us, taking up our supply and distracting everyone. We don't care if you have kids, Ricky. Okay? Oh, Baneline! No one wants to hear about your children. Well, The ghost might go down, but the planetary will not. Serral breaking himself against this. Down goes an infestor, and here comes... Wow! The Marines are there, kind of the hype team for all these ghosts. As he's just killing. They have guns too, remember. I'm sure Serral does. A base for a base. This trade... Actually, G. Serral types out 3. And Clem. Ooh. Serral never found his footing. Even though that was a dismantling. That was possibly the best I've seen someone deflect that early game aggression. Like, he countered the blue flame. How did he get the Zergling in? I don't know how he does that. But wow, Clem is on point. You cannot point to a part of that game and be like, Clem screwed that up. Like, the most you could do is be like, he could have targeted 7 Banelings instead of 5. Like, it is really hard as a Zerg player to see a cost-effective option against someone who's microing medevacs, ghosts, and mines on 2 to 3 fronts. So, what that means, Clem goes up 1. But we're on Stargazers, which as a Zerg player, I would veto. And I'm kind of surprised that Serral has that. Well, it's a best of 5, so you only get 1 veto. This map is just a no good, no fun time for Zerg. If you don't like drops, battle cruisers, liberators, if you want to take more than 3 bases, this back location, like the aesthetic of the map, I love it. All right, there's a star, it's a beautiful map. Especially once creep is cleared off it, because you can't have units in both the back of your base and at the front simultaneously. Keep Stargazers clean. Make Terran great again by not vetoing. I assume Waterfall was the map. That was the one. That Serral vetoed because of the just insanely short rush distance. We'll see, though. Like, I'm already kind of ready. Oh, God, Clem looks so good. Every time I watch Clem, he just gets a little bit better, and I keep getting a little bit older. I think, like, Clem's micro was insanely good before, but he's gotten patient. Like, he would try to use his micro to cut a path. To cleave his way into, like, a win. And sometimes that leaves you overextended. But now he just uses it like a shield in order to box you out until he's just too strong to beat. And right there, the ghost just kind of showed up, and then there were too many of them. Usually it feels like, oh, I gotta go ghosts, or he already has ghosts out. But the ghosts were so smoothly added in. All right. Oh, the Reaper got one. I'm completely unbiased. 2, the grenade. Will Serral go with the creep tumor? He does. No. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Not gonna get the tumor. That is back to my pet peeves of the Reaper taking too much damage, trying to, like, get 1 or 2 Zerglings so that you can't even contest the first creep tumor, which I would think is infinitely more valuable. Not infinitely, but significantly more. But it's like, no, I got not 1, but 2 Zerglings. And now I have to sit here and heal for 30 seconds. Command Center. I mean, he's got to mine through. Terrans are the only ones with the fancy floating buildings, so he's got to mine through the little mineral walls there, which are pretty much there to say, sorry, Zergs, sucks to be you, which I'm just translating from map-making intent. Also, with that base in the position it is, Zerg players, it's not your first choice, as you usually want to start pressing that creep out. Couple Hellions, a Reaper. This is 3-2-1-1. 3 command centers, 2 Rex, and a factory starport. Angling towards 16 Marines and 2 medevacs. People have gotten so good at these timings here. When Beyond first did his 2-1-1, the time that it would hit was like 5 minutes to like 5:15 with 2 bases. Now we're looking at 3 CC to maybe 15-second delay, 20-second. We'll see when. In fact, Clem maybe a little slow on it, but not by much. He also got 2 Hellions. That was with no Hellions, no 3rd command center. Just a few years. Okay, like it's like 5 years ago now. Beyond was hitting these timings. Maybe 6. Oh my god. Still Legacy of the Void. Now Clem is hitting it with only a few seconds and infinitely more economy. I keep using that word, infinitely. You can't just say infinitely. It's like literal. It's not literally infinite. It is 20 to 30% more economy and a significant amount more ability to follow it up and not be considered all in. Because right now, Clem is sitting... He actually has more income than Serral. And this is why I personally, in all my noob wisdom, would veto this map over Waterfall. Because at least Waterfall, you are mostly fighting direct fights as opposed to having to run back to your main. And Brenda! How did they get in here? Do you know what the mini-map is, Lucille? It's in the bottom left. But I can only see purple. That explains... Actually, that makes sense. Okay. Well, the drop rebuffed. Clem has yet to lose a unit, but that may change. The Queen's in their anger. Serral's got a 4th. So we're shaping up for the most straight up... Is that... Mutas? Aspire. It is a direct response, but is really the only way, to be honest. Oh, the Banelings! Does he not have stim, or did he just miss the trigger on it? Ah! Yeah, like 4 Marines went down that time, so... I'm still not sure what that can... Why are the Zerglings on this side of the battle report? Anyways. What? What do you mean? I thought this was our... Well, it appears Clem with his own Normandy landing here. The Zerg, without the defenses in place. Those Widow Mines make things quite difficult. Like, Serral really trying to draw the hits out. What? Cure, give the controller back. What? I'm sorry, wait, what? That wasn't in the script. Clem's like, oh, I gotta make it look fair. That never I'm completely thrown off here. I'm sure Clem is as well. That's not supposed to happen. Like, okay. He's mortal. I mean, the mutas are a surprise here. Oh my god, they're still little ones. The mutas do seem to take Clem off guard. And the loss of all those Marines on both sets, like, that is going to give the mutas an opportunity to actually get aggressive, or at least keep Clem kind of pinned back, which usually doesn't happen if you don't lose 30 Marines to a handful of Banelings. 2-2 is about even. In fact, Clem has a slight advantage, ever so slight. But now, this is the best case scenario for the Mutalisks. This is exactly when you want to have them. In the mid game, like, there's no... You can still challenge the economy. When there's like 5 bases out, you can't really challenge the economy. But now the medevacs cannot really be split off without risking death. And Serral is not under threat at any of his bases. He's actually managed to carve out a space here for Mutalings. Well, at 85 drones, 2-2 on the way, infestation pit finishing. He's got 16 mutas on the field, adding 4 more, and 20 is about the limit, but also that's the number for one-shotting medevacs, for one-shotting Widow Mines, and I'm not sure if that's quite enough to one-shot turrets. Once you get +1 air, it may very well be. You go past that, I'd say it's a bit of a what am I watching? Usually you don't see drones fighting Widow Mines on the open field at the 10-minute mark, but... And the hive starts. I'm sorry, I'm from the future. And the hive starts. Serral's got a lot on his plate right now. There are Widow Mines everywhere, but he's microing mutas. And this is why mutas are... It does feel like you're... Ah, there we go. It does kind of feel like you're locked in. The APM requirement on mutas is even higher than just the Massling Bane. Oh, wait, did he manually detonate all of his Banelings? That, or a Widow Mine connected right on top of them. I'm not sure. Well, that's undercut. Clem, while he took some losses early, Serral has not really been able to capitalize on it more than securing his 4th. And a 5th. Okay, and a 5th. That's not nothing. Clem is still maxed out with a 5th command center on the way. Mutas are not ideal for fighting in a heads-up army. Mutas are a win more unit. Their Lings and Banes force you back, and the mutas knock you out. Clem is not out of the woods. Oh no! The medevac's flying over the star of the map. The muta's the star of this game, getting even more of them. Down goes the Thor. Lingbane off creep, though, is easy pickings for the Frenchman. Mutas will. Easily dispatching those Widow Mines. That's the real win here, is being able to mitigate the mines, which contributed so much in the previous game. Oh, no. Serral never expanded to this base. He's now looking towards all his options. I thought it died or something, but then I remember no Zerg will take that base unless under duress. And right now, taking the gold is optimistic. But Clem's 5th is intercepted by the mutas, and that actually allows Serral to get his gold base up. The Lings and Banes already in position to block out. The mutas take out the command center. The engineering bays are vulnerable as well. The mine, both mines taken out immediately. Great muta micro from Serral, dragging all the Marines back to the base. And Marines can't fly, at least not safely in these conditions. Serral, oh, the Thor. Serral gonna try to evacuate his mutas. Oh, 6 mutas on the way out. Does a lot to even things up. As Clem lost a few mines, turrets, and Marines, but the mutas are quite expensive. An ultraless cavern on the way. A Ghost Academy on the other side. So just throwing that one in there. This base gonna have trouble. Lings. The Muta, Ling, Bane chasing in. There's a planetary here. Planetaries all over the place. Oh, we don't mind. Killed the drone after it canceled. We'd already looked away. Adrenal glands. This isn't even 3-3 yet for Clem. Serral has 3-3 about a minute behind. +3 infantry, armor, and weapons are closing in. Chitinous plating on the way. Oh, Widow Mine. He got the mine, but ate a muta kill. The Baneling count. 76 Banelings on the map. which is a lot to contend with. He is off a creep here. And with the Thors and the Star and the Marauders to hide behind the Marines are okay for now. He frees up some supply, we'll call it that, for the Ultralisks. The Mutas. Ooh, the Thors are tanking a lot of the Banes. Another wave! There's just nothing juicy to hit here. That is where the Ultras can come in, is taking larger chunks. It punishes you for splitting your units too much. Because the Ultras can just chomp off bits of your army. Especially on their side of the map where they're going to get transfused and be able to pull away quickly. There are Liberators coming out, but no, well, there's a Ghost. The first of what will probably be more than one. Another Widow Mine down, Serral now. He has all the bases on his side of the map. The gold base, there's only one. So it will be a contested point. Ultras are out. Chitinous plating is done. Maximum armor achieved. Ultra speed coming up as well. But who's flanking who at this stage? Adrenal glands. We're pretty much maxed out on upgrades here. Besides the extraneous ones. Even +3 Muta attack. But guess what? That wasn't even Clem's whole army there. A bio army of 3-4 medevacs worth of bio comes in. And like 10 medevacs worth of medevacs. The Mutas will chase. But that does leave some position here. A hot, fast-paced, but somewhat of a chess game. Clem decides to pull everything back. Now Clem has to make a decision. Oh, he killed that base, yeah. Do I fight the army, or do I just win, or do I go for bases? And right now, Serral having a lot of trouble actually finding an engagement. He doesn't have infestors to help force the issue. He doesn't have Vipers. He only has these units, which very technically you can run away from. Of course, once you get on creep, the math gets a little fuzzy. Oh no. A hearty chunk of Zerglings. Campbell's new chunky Zergling soup, brought to you by Widow Mines and love. But mostly Widow Mines. Down goes a Thor. The Ultras lead the charge. A few Ghosts are on the field, though, sniping through one set. Banelings rolling in. Ultras just chopping up the mineral line. 1922 SCVs. The Ultras trying to scramble their way out. There are technically Corruptors in a weird fight here, killing the medevacs while they get killed by the only things that don't really damage them. Meanwhile, a drop on the other side. If we look at the fight, we see Clem came out about 1,600 gas and 1,400 minerals ahead so far. The thing is, Serral lost his Mutas and his Ultras. Clem lost Marines, Marauders. He lost a couple Ghosts, one Thor. But everything he lost can be replaced. Quickly and relatively cheaply. The Planetary still holding. The Corruptors to deal with the Liberators. The Ghosts to deal with everything else. The Ghosts kick in here, and they kick out the Zergs. Serral off to a roaring start in this game. Has now a bit of a whimper. Can only utter 2 more letters. And Clem, in decisive form, is up 2-0. Without those key units, he was working those Mutas the whole game and losing them. So I was going to have to go back to the spawning pool. Honestly, I feel just the map puts you on the back foot. It's a very tough map to ever, unless you're going to be proactive. Serral not known for doing like one base roach ovens, but it is a tough one. Not to take away from, besides literally 2 moments, there were 2, well, maybe like 1.5 moments. We finally, and if I didn't know better, I'd look at that and I'd be like, oh, okay, Clem. I didn't think of it at the time, but I almost want to go back and see if Clem was looking at those units. Because there's an incredibly cynical part of me that's like, Jimmy, that's not the score. And another cynical part. I know. No, Clem. 2 for Clem. Yeah. It's like, did he actually just mess up? Because it's so jarring to see Banelings actually hit Clem's Marines, at least more than like 3 of them, that the cynical part of me says, was he just watching and this was his handicap for the game? Like, because that's not in the script. That would have made the mid-game a lot easier if he could always keep the pressure on the mutas. The mutas were able to get something done, which is more than usual. Not enough, but Serral's struggling. And Clem has given him some pretty intense trouble in the past. And more than trouble now. Ultras, Mutas, Lisks are a risk. Lings and Blings, on the other hand, the thing is, the more expensive your unit, the more valuable Snipe is. The less expensive, the more valuable the Ghost auto attack becomes. So that is why you usually see the overwhelming Ling Bane numbers, because you're literally just playing a numbers game where they can't kill all of us. And that is truly a Zerg mindset. But the map does, unlike the more lore-oriented Zerg, you don't have several planets of minerals to work with. You have usually around the same amount as the Terran. And that's when things get more difficult. Serral got enough gas for speed. And nothing more. Focused. Oh, the Reaper. Oh my god, we missed it. The most important early game move of this series. And Jimmy. He got a drone. Oh no. Might as well GG now. I know some North American Terrans. Not, well, by reflex I said Terrans, but North Americans who would. It's more like if they lose the Reaper. When I think of people leaving the game early, I think of Terrans. But historically, it's been American Zergs who've been most notorious for leaving games early. Hydra. So, wow, Clem, like, when are we gonna punish him? When are we gonna do the roach? Clem is just going 3 command center. In this time, he has no starport. He's going 3 CC, double engineering bay, with not even a starport. This is past greed. This is just reckless. This might even die to Zerglings. Like, he has nothing. He has 4 Hellions, a Marine, and a Reaper. He's so confident that Serral's gonna just sit back. And the thing is, though, yeah, any sort, like 5 roaches would win or at least do critical damage right now. It doesn't get any greedier than this. He still hasn't built a starport as he's focusing on that barracks production, which is probably a smart move, as the time for a starport doing anything early game has well passed. Well, the Overlord, it'll see the Rax timing. It doesn't see the starport. Will he know about the NG base? Because if so, we'll either see a lair or... Yeah, this feels like a thing. Honestly, I don't have a read on what kind of thing. But it feels like... Ooh, intentional extractor cancel? Not Nidus. Just a rush to Mutas? Like, thank you for pointing out it was a thing, Winter. I wouldn't have known otherwise, but now you have my attention. It's a thing! Roaches. And not like something that people do, but like something out of the ordinary. That's what I meant. Totally. Roach horns on the way. It's going to be quite a while till Clem's production is at that level where he can just keep pressure on. That he's given up the opportunity to go for the double medevac drop. He's given up the amount of bio that was constantly challenging Serral at his 4th and his 5th bases. He's given it up in favor of just the most efficient speed run to 2-2 max out that you can possibly have. So right here, we're going to have Serral at exactly 66 drones. Not an accident. That is full 3-base production. He's getting 1-1. He's going to get a bunch of roaches. And he's going to punch him in the face. Okay? And that's it. That's the whole game. He's taken this 4th. Honestly, I think he's partially taking it just to try to convince Clem it's not exactly what it is. Yeah. Oh my god. Well, he might convince him until he, sees something like a Nidus. Serral, his artisanal Nidus roach timing. Crafted to hit before there's a critical mass of bio. Before there's any hope of getting siege tanks. And also, of course, Roach Ravager doesn't care very much about your Widow Mines. That's another key point. Ghosts are a distant dream. 2 medevacs on the field. 2-2 is still a ways out. So Clem has no real... He doesn't know, okay? What he doesn't know can definitely hurt him. It may kill him. The Zerglings looking to box out. It has not yet been revealed. It has not yet been revealed. He doesn't know. Oh my god! Oh my god, panic! Everyone, go back! No, hit the boost! Oh my god! That's so many roaches! Oh! Widow Mines, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, knocks him down. Clem, no 4th for you. Nidus in the back, Serral. A decisive timing. The units are not there. 1-1 done for both sides. Who cares about your factory? Get it out of here. Nidus at the back, but it finishes. Serral, Queen! Weaver! Oh, it's going to be troublesome, but... Meanwhile, the main fight, so actually focusing at the back is losing a lot of ground. But the Queen! The Queen... You remember when I said the Queen's not... Well, it appears the Queen's gonna keep Clem bottled up into his main. The corrosive biles don't quite get the command center. Clem down 60 supply, lost a ton of SCVs. Serral did lose 8 Queens there, but he is breaking down the walls. Is it enough to carry it through all the way to victory? A beautiful concave will be spread. He's trying to dodge the corrosive biles, but there's just too many. 2-2 is done, but the Marine's trying to cut through the armor here. And apparently... Well, the medevacs are out of energy. They can't heal anymore. A brute force approach as Serral continues to batter his way into Clem's base. The Serral who... Honestly, it feels... Well, there's your requisite roach timing. Serral's roach timing is much more dramatic than your average, early 2-base. Serral hid that for 5 minutes. That train was on the rails for a while. And Clem had no idea the tracks were even there. Oh... That's a rough one. But Serral takes one back. Kind of the turnaround that... It's weird to say, but the turnaround he needed. That was a cleanly executed roach timing. And you're not going to just kill Clem. He's gonna thrash around a bit. He's going to micro Marines until he's literally out of medevac energy before dying. But he will die. And that, my friends, is why you don't go double engineering bay before Starport. Game 4. Inside and out. Another key part of going NG Baby for a starport is you don't have any sort of scouting. You don't have a Liberator, you don't have a Banshee, you don't even have a Viking, or even like a Medevac. There's no way to get into their base. That is part of it. On top of just being entirely reliant on Marines. Serral actually picked... I was over there thinking he'd do like just like a Ravager Ling all-in. Nope. Serral... It felt like he broke that one. It had a little dust on it, okay? Like, you forgot exactly which shelf it was on, like one of his trophies. Which one? Take your pick. He's like, yes, 1-1 roach timing. Never really liked this build, but it'll do. I don't think any Zerg really was a huge fan of mass roach. Back when infestors could stun units, like they could hit, well, pretty much anything. The alley-oop. In fact, there were like several trailers, gameplay trailers based around it. Was the fungal and the corrosive bile wombo combo. Now corrosive bile is for taking out static objects like Protoss players, Widowmine, siege tanks, and also just for forcing the Marines to micro. Like, because bio is the highest DPS in the game by and large. It forces... Many players will just micro their whole army. Clem, you could tell, was doing the absolute minimum, but it does minimize that DPS as much as possible. I don't think we'll see... That was a build that, back in Heart of the Swarm, was nicknamed the full Terran build, where you literally get everything and then start building units. And by everything, I mean everything you need to build just Marines and Medevacs. It was a little more common because you could get away with it, just because of the way the economy's played out, but 3cc double NG Bay into maxed out bio. Or, you know, Clem just doesn't care. 3cc is relatively standard now. But, okay, we'll see. This is your moment on making sure that Mule doesn't mine extra minerals and then drop them at that last trip. Which, don't try that at home. Second gas. Oh yeah, starport. It's right there. Literally in front of me. Okay. The Reaper got 2 links. Ten more lings on the 12. That's a spicy number. That's a... I want to drive the Reaper over to the 3rd and then slip out with 12 lings and come in while your Hellions are out on the map, but yet there's nothing in the wall to stop my Zerglings, which is a very specific yet probably accurate amount of lings. Alright, he even leaves 2 Zerglings to look convincing at home. Because remember, 2 out of 4 were killed. But guess what? Surprise! A single Hellion is making things difficult at home. Okay, he loses 1 SCV. The SCVs are running out towards the Hellions. 5 SCVs. It could have been worse. It could have been much worse. The mining time lost is quite significant on all those, and one of them's a mule, but Serral, that was some drones of Serral he committed. That was a collected response right there. It also kept the Hellions off the map a little longer, allows creep spread to really get established. But I'm already back. What do we have here? Overlord. Overlord came in, saw Cloak upgrading. Was it a fake or not? I don't think the response changes much. Cloak. I'm big on... I like the Cloak is very good in a reverse bell curve of players, in my opinion. For, like, everyone up through gold, and then, like, Clem and Maru. for all the players who either their opponent might not know how to build detection, or who have the APM to be controlling Banshees for the entire game, the Cloak finds a lot of value. Because while he's not going to kill a ton of drones, he's just going to keep dragging the Queens back. Cloak is done, uses it. He's actually denying the 4th. And it's already paid off. That 4th base is so important. He's going Ling Bane. He needs the larva. The 4th base for larva, not even economy. Oh, God. I mean, that's 150 minerals and cancels. How much time? Oh, it's not over. He's just, oh my God. Just stop. Just stop. This is the Brett Favre of bases over here. Is it? Meanwhile, during this whole saga, the Hellions get in. And kill 11 drones. We're not done. I'd say, oh my. No. The answer is, oh my. Oh no, this is way too much. Whoa, okay. No. This series started with the best Hellion defense I've ever seen. And it's a lot closer to ending with some of the most damage effectively random Hellions I've ever done. 26 drones. That is completely unacceptable. If Serral was on Angry Coach right now, of all people, I'd be asking whether or not he's awake. Because oh, that's not good. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is the worst start for Serral of any game thus far. And he's lost 2 out of 3. Mainling speed is done. +1 is about to finish, though, for Clem. 1-1, not just +1 attack. He's got a 4th command center on the way. The Banshees are still alive. They don't have that many kills, but the damage they've done is just... Alright, well, 4 Banelings come in. Clem. 6 SCVs. Is it even more than the price of the Banelings? What's this? Okay, well, 11 SCVs. Yeah, that was pretty good. Serral deflects at home. He kind of slipped on the pressure in the bottom right as the Banelings rolled in. 11 SCVs is not nothing. Banshees, that's another benefit of the Banshees. I don't know why they're cloaked. That's just reflex, I guess. The Zerglings were never going to shoot back, despite their wings. Even Clem does it, guys. Okay, it's like, ah! You're at home. You don't need to have your invisibility cloak on. No, but they're scary. I don't like it when they watch. What, you kill them? Well, Serral gets his 4th. The main base is defended. Oh my god, that Widow Mine on the low ground. That's a lot of Marines. The Widow Mines, the Queens with a great concave here. The Widow Mines are dealt with, and that Widow Mine actually hits just as many Marines as it does Zerglings. Ooh. Oh my, okay. He didn't go full Super Saiyan there. I was ready, but he didn't quite line it up perfectly. About to target down half a dozen Banes on creep, but Serral just had a couple too many. Come on the right. 2 Queens down. Spore Crawler under fire. Another few Banelings. Widow Mine hits the Marines. Gotta get out. Don't. Okay. That's too many even for you, Clem. Wait. A few more and some Widow Mines have made this a lot more of a possibility. The supply, though, it's rough. It's not good. Serral's struggling, but holding on. By the skin of his thin, but soon-to-be +2 Carapace Zerg teeth. Do teeth get carapace upgrades? Yes, yes. Attack on the right. Driving it back. 2-2 about to finish across the board, but Clem has a slight advantage. Infestation Pit is just now on the way. Ghost Academy is building before the Hive even starts, which... Well, Serral's stabilizing. But he's stabilizing because Clem is taking a fourth, adding more command centers, and he's pretty much maxed. So until he actually commits to a fight, which we haven't really seen, Serral might have a little bit more space, but that's still too many Marines there. He's just going to drop on him. He doesn't care. They're a lesser type of Zerg. That's enough of them in the Spore Crawler. Zone him out for now, but Clem's still maxed. I don't know where that Viking came from, but a welcome addition. Trying to drive him off of the Widowmines here as best he can. Eats a hit, another hit, some Banelings down. Shifts to the left, Clem coming in again. Medevac's bruised, battered, but yet to be broken. Hydra's getting involved. Widowmine doesn't get the connection. Banelings rolling through. Clem splitting, not pick it up yet. Beautiful split. Oh, the Banelings are gone. They're gone. Meanwhile, on the other side, Clem picks up and gets out. Banshees are back. Remember us. The Hydras could maybe shoot back. The Banshee's doing more damage to another base. Anything to add to this. But now Clem is finally committing. Oh, Widowmines connect. Baneling's trying to roll through. Serral still trying to box out on the right flank. Another mine. Just zoning out so well. Target fire. More down. Units get low. And Clem gets out. The Banshees go down, but he dives towards the main with like a full medevac of HP shared between three of them. Meanwhile, Baneling's on the right. Hydraslings and Banes, but on the high ground. Good luck contesting that. Overseers all over the place. How many has he lost? 3. He's got 2 on the field. Vipers. Hive has finished. Serral holding. Target fire good, but not good enough. Those. Oh my god! Oh. As a Zerg player, and as a Terran. And that's where we are right now. Oh my. 3 medevacs with a Hydra shot between them. But Serral's still nearly maxed out. It's all about Clem and his aggression. Serral just trying to hold on efficiently until he can get something more out there, because it seems like 200 supply is not cutting it. Does he have a Lurker Den? He does not. Infestor, charging ahead. Fungal lands, a few Marines gonna feel it. Ghost is out. Kind of an afterthought of this fight. The Liberators are actually doing quite a good job against the Hydras with the Venn diagram of freedom, but eventually goes down. Loses a bunch of Hydras in that fight. Planetary is optimistic in this location. Meanwhile, army in the center. Down goes the Infestor. Zerglings trickling in and evaporating immediately. More of the army. Boost. Picks up. Gets out. I know the script. We're gonna continue it. He picks up, but the creep is allowing the Hydras to close the distance, and Serral bites back. Full energy Vipers. Could be the makings of a turnaround here. Serral, despite his horrible position, he almost just outright died. Unfortunately, Parasitic Bomb splits off the medevac immediately. More Widow Mines to be dealt with. Viper's taking a lot of damage here. Another Parasitic Bomb, and the splash undercuts a ton of Banelings that the Viper flew over. Oh no, stop hitting yourself, says Clem. But at the same time, that base is not going to land. The right side planetary is intact. Widowmine still on the field, as many of the Overseers have been killed off or caught in a bad position. Clem flanking between his mines. Serral trying to contest, but unfortunately for him, the planetary is completed while all this action was happening. Serral, he doesn't have any other tech on the horizon. It's just Infestor, Viper, Hydraling, Bane. He doesn't have a Lurker Den. He doesn't have an Ultralisk Cavern. Not that I necessarily think they would help, but this is the plan. Whereas at the same time, the M&M and the Magos as well for Clem. Oh, a lot of wings and mains committed, but the mines are in a pretty decent position. Serral dragging him out, though. There's not that many Banelings left in this army, but the sheer amount of Zerglings is forcing him back. The Zerglings only have +2 attack and no adrenal glands. No adrenal glands. That attack speed upgrade is huge when you actually get into these fights. Oh, the target fire. Baneling's down. Easy peasy for Clem. Bring double digits next time. The creep spread is starting to falter. The Widow Mines have been cleaned up. Serral up against the wall. Does not break, though. Serral holding in the most stressful match here. One more game and he's knocked down or out. Like, oh god, he scammed the investor! He suspected or he knew. I don't think you can see it unless it's moving, at least not easily, but oh my god, Clem with the killer instinct. Fool me once, and I won't be fooled again. Jeez, the one thing that might be able to turn these fights around is immediately preemptively dealt with by Clem. Down goes the planetary. That's a big commitment. On the other side, ghosts and mines means that Clem is going to trade the base. Now the question is who's going to be able to get any more. There's no chance of Serral moving forward with what he has left. Clem, on the other hand, there's still an investor. It's waiting. Does he know? Oh no, he's trying to make the play with the infestor, but to say, oh, these snipes kind of come off, but a beautiful fungal. A handful of units, but Serral manages to get the fungal even if he kind of slipped on the other moves. A Viper intact, EMP misses the mark, settles for a parasitic bomb. Planetary Fortress. Serral turning it around. The parasitic bomb did a lot of damage, but Clem taking a relatively efficient fight here. Oh, Burrowed Bane's actually connected, but there are no Widow Mines. Clem barely stalled. Is there a scan? There's still a single infestor. I don't know why this Cyclone is here. I assume a misclick. Oh, the scan. The choke point is overwhelming. The sheer damage that Terran army pumps out. There's still no adrenal glands, no +3 melee for Serral, which means if he doesn't take an outright winning fight, the Terran will win the rest. You have to do decisive, overwhelming damage in the first few seconds. Otherwise, the medevacs, the stim, the snipes, the Widow Mines, the list goes on. Well, the list, that's it. That's the whole list. But still pretty long list, though. There's no detection! Oh, it's a disaster! Clem's Minecraft skills are far too strong, and it goes from even to dead. Oh, no. He didn't have an Overseer. Oh, one more time. Like, yeah, well, maybe it wasn't quite even after those fights in the middle, but Serral, this is at 12 kills. Make that. Oh, actually, that didn't go so great. This one, 5 kills. Serral trying to remax, coming around the corner. That mine already. I think this is what threw him off. This mine was already burrowed. So he sees the vines burrowing, says, I have a moment. Though maybe not the greatest angle, but I have a moment. 156, 149, 144. Oh my god, he targeted it. Clem targeted it on the Banes. Oh my god. It would have hit like a Hydro or a Ling in front. So Clem steps in, takes control of the situation, and he takes the series. 3-1. Oh my god. Oh. Jesus. I mean, he deserves it. Well played. And about the only game he drops is to an incredibly well-masked Roach timing against the greediest Terran build out there. So, thank you for watching. Make sure to tune in to Dreamhack Atlanta, especially on the B streams, covering all the matches, because I'll be there, helping you enjoy all of Dreamhack Atlanta on the 18th. and 19th. And of course afterwards here on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Good luck. Have fun. Check out this video. Jimmy... Oh, what made your day a little bit better? Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.